Welcome to Kickstarter Radio 102.4. I'm your host, Lipstickpaddy, and today we're over on Gamefound looking at Rise of the Necromancers by Mythic Games. Mythic Games, they are what I call the Premier League of Kickstarter. Yeah, massive Kickstarter company. But what we've got here isn't exactly new, is it, Mythic? Soul Loser Games and Phoenix something. Rise of the Necromancers is a Kickstarter from maybe 4 years ago. I don't know. It's an old one. Here we're getting the second edition, however. Okay. There's lots going on. You see over here the Lich Pledge with 5 boxes? Dear me, lots going on. Ooh, are you evil enough? Can you not be a good necromancer? Anyway, so this is the original here with this map that you're going around on. Beautiful card art here. We can see there is some card art that is repeated though in the middle, and that is lazy art in my book. You've also got generic black dice, which need to be changed, of course, and you've got all these minis which are carbon copies. This is supposed to be a second edition, so hopefully we can get this stretched into something where we've got unique sculpts here, because this is a little bit on the retail side. And if it's second edition, what is new then? If you're back now though, you get the Grim Harvest box. It is an expansion and it's going to have 100 additional smaller scale minis. Small scale minis. Now, Mythic Games, who did the Joan of Arc, these little minis are like 10 to 12 millimeters. They are tiny. You know those tiny dice you get in games, like in Space Base? It's like these are tiny little things. Although here we do have some nice sculpts, though. Well, I say nice. You know, they're not exactly Tenaris Adventures dragon nice, are they? But they are. I guess if they're going to be small, they are going to be. They're fairly interestingly nice. You know, they've done a little bit of design on the base, but if they're going to be small, they're going to be small. Lich Pledge. Now, the Dawn of Demons and Undead Sea, they were kickstarted for expansions for Necromancer as well, I think. So the only new content here is the Grim Harvest with the mini stuff. So we need to find more about that here. And the Foul and the Wicked purple box, that is looking new. But with all the content you can see here for $169, that actually looks fairly good price for all this. $1 pledge is there. Lovely jubbly. I like that they've done an icon for the $1 pledge. That's good attention to detail. Yeah, these are kind of strange pledge tiers, right? I mean, because if you've got the original Kickstarter, are you going for the Old Bones pledge? I mean, what is changed? Because it all looks like the original Kickstarter so far. Stretch goals, they've only planned 12, it looks like. Expect this to go more, though, once they've blasted through these. These are all looking like places on the map, of course. That may have been originally a token, so this is nice. An Undead Sea item set. So that's specific to that, to these boxes. The Grim Harvest then's getting all the miniatures. We're getting some extra sets though in the Undead Sea. So that's kind of new stuff. So most of these stretch goals are going in the Grim Harvest, it looks like, which is nice. So add-ons then. Dawn and Demons, Undead Sea, the already known properties. Foul and the Wicked then. Foul and the Wicked, only $30, so what is this giving you? Goal of the game, becoming the king of evil triumphs. So yeah. It's one of these games that came out with a board, and it's like, if you've got a big table, like we do, is there no, like, player mat? We'll see what if you've got any add-ons. Look at all these minis. Mythic, that's not a disturbing image? Because when you were putting this image together, you were literally copy-pasting for this image. And that's exactly what it is. I guess, though, if you want the pledge less than... They'll probably say, if you want your pledge less than $300, you're getting this. Turns are fairly quick. You can see playthroughs of this. It was recently played through with the Dice Tower, and you get the idea of how it works. It is an interesting game. I think it's got BGG around 8 score, so it is a known property that's decent and does warrant a new edition, of course. The art itself, though, is nice. I like the art that they've got going on here. I like the cards, how they've been done. I think it's all looking great. They all have individual backgrounds. I really go for the art. Mini-wise, they're looking not too shabby, and we can get to see here all the little spells you're doing. So it is quite interesting. Lots of items you can pick up and all this stuff. And it's you going around a map and doing stuff with all kinds of funness. I mean, I don't want to spoil it, because when you watch a playthrough, you get to see lots that's happening. And here we go. So this expansion brings solo co-op. This is already known, though, but it's adding more monsters, more item decks, and some more minis. This is a $30 box, though, and it's actually not bad, I guess. I like that you can be the Archbishop in the Forces of Light, because can you be him? You're supposed to be evil, aren't you? Search for the Lost Academy of Demonology, sacrifice your apprentice to summon forth demons, and stop the Archbishop. Okay. Of course, he's going to be the baddie. Minis look great painted, I guess. Undead Sea. Now, this one's very cool. $45 for this, because it gives you a new map. And that really changes up the flavour. This is good. You're going into, you know, more underwater minis and things, but we're getting like a severe poison of copy plastic here. I mean, this is an older Kickstarter when, you know, unique sculpts were a thing, but this box is a $45 box, and for $45 you're not going to get sculptures that are unique. In fact, these sculptures are just painted, aren't they? Which is a little bit of a shame. And we've got tokens down here for buildings, which could, potentially is getting stretched into actual minis. So that's going to bring in new additions to these. More exploration, more finding items, new necromancers to play, more monsters to defeat, more apprentices to bind. So gives you loads of good stuff. This is what they look like if you are a superb mini painter. I like that ship, the Bloody Hulk with the giant front. Look at that ramming ship. That looks fairly neat. Art just looks luscious, doesn't it? I mean, wow. Just looks so good. So why back now? Are we up to the bit that's not been stretched? That's the mini box. The skeletal dragon been painted with a pink. That's really weird. Now here we go, the Foul and the Wicked. If you've actually come here from Kickstarter and you have all the original stuff, this is what you're coming really for. 22 individually sculpted minis. Are you kidding me? Yeah, baby! This is looking fantastic, isn't it? So, are all these the different Necromancers? Like 30? All 22 Necromancers playable within the game, and all the expansions have now been individually sculpted. So, swap out your generic miniature for the one matching your new Necromancer, clip on the coloured base ring, and you're ready to rock and roll. This is super sweet. Painted mini gallery. Not supplied painted, so we just need to come down here. Videos. Some from Mythic, yes. The Dice Tower one was interesting. I think out of all these videos, the one that's interesting is the Undead Sea expansion, because you get to see it on the boat map, which I don't think I've seen a video for that. It's interesting because on BGG, no one's really covering the expansions. Rest of the world. Shipping is funny here in Mexico from these peeps, but it's a $1 pledge or not. Alright, so there we go. There's no real add-ons, and why not? A neoprene mat that's larger, double-sided, that has the Undead Sea on it, would certainly be me licking my lips. I think that they've got to stretch better dice than these, and I'm definitely keeping my eye on it, because I do like the concept of everybody being a necromancer, going around and going on, and it's like an adventure board, isn't it? And you're getting items and spells and all this good stuff. And I wouldn't be covering it if I didn't watch a playthrough. I mean, I do like the concept of the game. I just want to see it getting pimped out more than the original. But it doesn't seem like it's doing it fully yet. But there is days and stuff to go. 7 days left. And Mythic on the last campaign did start out doing dailies. But here's another thing that I think might be hurting it. It has come to Gamefound and it's only got 191,000. And the game that I covered yesterday, which is a solo game where you can play with more friends, last breaking 1 million. So this ain't doing that well, is it? Unfortunately. And it's because if you go to KickTrack, you don't get Gamefound games on KickTrack. It's all Kickstarter stuff. So Rise of the Necromancers, have you seen any adverts for it? It's like you come on Gamefound and you hardly see stuff on Gamefound. That's what I think. And I think it would have had to have gone to $1 million before we started to see some other things going on. So what are my feelings on it? Well, essentially you're getting the reprint of the Rise of the Necromancers. That's what's happening here. The stretch goals, though, that are adding stuff is very interesting. Can we just go to the... They say they've got add-ons. These are just the boxes. We've got all these minis that are getting stretched. They look really cool. Dawn and Demons, you're looking exactly the same. You're not changing. Undead Sea, you've got a little bit in here, but not that much. And the Foul and the Wicked is giving you individual minis for all of the Necromancers. So that's very cool indeed. So essentially, what are you doing here exactly? Just buying retail games? I mean, if there's anything Gamefound exclusive, they've not said anything of it, have they? So potentially you might pick up these at retail, and if the shipping in your region is going to be expensive, and if this price doesn't include VAT, then retail might have to be your choice, but I don't know. I want to see where it stretches. I need to come here and to see where it finally does stretch. Hopefully it goes into, we might find this out in the next few days if it starts doing daily stretch goals, but I feel it needs to do a little bit more to tempt me into it, because everything's looking like the last Kickstarter. It hasn't seemed to have shown me why it's different, other than this Grim Harvest adding loads of minis. So, you know, is the Grim Harvest going to be changing these copy-pasted minis? Don't know, so. But I think if you're looking at it at a pledge then, so $170, you're getting 2 boards, loads and loads and loads of items for replayability, loads of different necromancers which to play with, which sounds good, and you've also got the boat, you know, the other side of which is sea, so it can feel a little bit different also. But I mean, come on, if you're not willing to update the dice, if you're not willing to I don't know, I mean, if you look at the boxes, they're all coming at a retail price. That's why I'm not doing the sculpts like this, which is a bit of a shame. But please, custom dice as an add-on then. You not do that. I mean, Mythic, come on. We want to pimp it out a little bit. You could have had some kind of green translucent dice for Rise of the Necromancers just to go with the box or something. So what is happening here? Is it just Mythic Games that are publishing it and they're coming through Gamefound? Is that what's happening here? And it's Sore Loser Games that's actually behind all of this. So that's probably where it is. But it's middleware, I think, sitting in the middleware. I don't think this is Mythic Games doing something that they have themselves. I think they're just picking up the license to push it through for Kickstarter. In this case, Gamefound. So it's a little bit of not blowing me up, you know what I mean? It's not like jumping out as a game that I really want to back. Even though I enjoyed the gameplay and that, I think if my friend backed it, I would want to go and play it, but I don't think I'd want to have it in my collection where I want to play it. Where, you know, you get a game on your collection, that's when I want to play this game now tonight, and I have it on my shelf to pull out and play. But I don't think Rise of the Necromancers is going to really warrant getting into my superb library. But I don't know. What do you feel about it? Is this campaign kind of left you a bit about it, that it's not pushing where you like it to? Do you think it's harming itself, only reaching 200,000? Do you feel like it could have done better on Kickstarter? That's the question everyone needs to look at the minute, that going on Gamefound is actually doing harm for your, you know, how people see you. Your presence online seems to be damaged by coming to Gamefound. Anyway, I think that's where I'm at. I will come back and have a look about it, and I will talk about this on my Sunday show, of course, the broadcast show where I talk about all the Kickstarters of the week, talk a little bit about TV, and it's 50% music. If you've not seen it, try and check out my podcasts. I've got loads of different flavours. The last one I did was the most anticipated games coming for this year, so you might want to check that out. But anyway, there you go. Rise of the Necromancers. It just looks like a second printing of the previous Kickstarters, and just adding 2 miniature boxes. So a little bit of a disappointment that we're not getting anything else, but I guess if you've been following Rise of the Necromancers, it's a good time to get it if it's on your watch list. But other than that, I don't think it's going to bring in that much of a new audience, because you don't seem to have gone beyond that much what was kickstarted previously. So on that bombshell, peeps, thank you so much for watching. I've been your host, Lipstickpaddy. This, of course, is Kickstarter Radio 102.4. You take care, stay safe, and bye-bye for now.